Hey Disney cruisers, and welcome back to the DCL community, where we are here to help you plan, prepare for, and get excited for your Disney cruise. You guys know me. I'm Rebecca, your host and admin of the DCL community. And today we are covering cruise news.
Woohoo.
There is so much going on in the cruise industry with Disney Cruise Line, yes, but outside Disney as well. So we are getting into it, and I am so excited. As you're coming in, please say hello. Let us know where you're watching from so we can say hi. But Crissi, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hi, I'm Crissi O'Kane. I'm one of your preferred travel advisors here with DCL Community, and I love being a part of this group. And I love cruising. And this is like forget the Chinese zodiac calendar. 2025 is the year of cruise. Like it is the year of cruise. It is the biggest year in the entire cruise industry. It's like the history of cruising, and I cannot wait to tell you everything because there's so much launching. It's just like truly like the best time to be a cruiser. Truly the best time.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I was going to say, so many of these cruise lines are investing so heavily into cruising. So that should tell you how awesome that cruises are, especially if you've never been on a cruise before. And if you are trying to figure out which cruise you should go on, because we're going to talk about a lot of them, as much as we love Disney, there's a lot of options. Reach out to Crissi. That is the link to her page on the DCL community site. You might not know this, but her planning services are actually free for you to utilize. So her being I gave her this crown of the queen of cruising. She can help you decide which cruise line is actually going to be best for you and your family, or you and your partner, you and your girlfriends, whatever, so that you can focus on having the best vacation. We have friends watching from New York, San Francisco, more New York. Hello to Michael, somebody from my hometown, Chicago, some more from Pennsylvania. This is so fun. I am so excited to get into this. As we're going through, if you guys have any questions, let us know, but let's go ahead. Let's rock and roll.
Let's rock and roll. Yeah. So this is me celebrating Happy New Year because this is the year I have been more excited about than any year, because the thing with cruise ships is that they take a long time to build. So we have known about these ships for a very long time. So since about 2022, we have known that 2025 is going to be like the year of cruising. And guys, the very first cruise ship launched in 1900. It was the Princess Anne Vivian out of New Jersey. So I went back all 125 years of cruising. There has not been a single year with as many ships launching. It's insane. And that is because it's a big combination of different things. Some brand new cruise lines have started increased pace of construction post-COVID. There was a kind of delays, then they all kind of caught up. And then also cruise lines have realized that cruisers want a variety of cruise experiences. So they need to build a variety of types of ships going to a variety of places. So variety means more. So that's what you get. So this is like truly the best time to be a cruiser, because no matter what you want, you can do it on a brand new ship. It's so exciting.
That is so true. And we have somebody, I knew this was going to come up with someone saying, but what about cruises from New York? And I know that Disney doesn't necessarily have them. We did a whole video on the DCL community YouTube page talking about other cruise lines that leave from New York, but we're going to have a lot of options in here. And if leaving from one particular place is most important to you, there's a cruise line that can accommodate. Reach out to Crissi. She can help you. We love Disney. We do, but there are other options. There are. So let's start with wave season. I know this is a big one.
So we're just going to go through the whole year, month by month. So, I know we're already like over halfway through February, but January and February, these are the months to book your cruise. So it's still February. Reach out now. If you want to be sailing on a new ship, either one launching 2025 or 2026, or one that just launched in 2024, you have got to book now, because every time that a new ship launches, we will see prices increase across the entire industry. So when Royal's ship launches in August, Disney pricing is going to increase as well. Even though their new ships haven't launched yet, they will see that the price of their competitors is increasing. So we're going to maintain that same ratio. So it is so crucial. Even though right now all we have is CGI pictures, just trust. These ships are going to be incredible, because the second that we get media on board and you get a ton and ton of footage and exposure, the demand will skyrocket. So now is the time to be booking cruises. I promise you. Also, I can always reprice. So if for some crazy reason it goes down later, no worries. But now is the time for cruises. I guarantee you will only see increases. And this year, with so much new happening, the market is exploding and prices are still exploding. They're still growing. So book now. That's all. Book now.
And we do have somebody asking, is it not better to wait for last minute sales?
Generally, no. So last minute, you can see sales, but they're going to be very specialized. So a lot of times they'll be to a targeted demographic, like Florida resident only, like, really high offers for specific markets. Or you'll see certain sailings and certain room types. So it's very, very limited. And you'll be kind of really pigeonholed into something that, hopefully fits your schedule, hopefully it fits your needs. But you also generally, like, it might be 20% off. But in the year between now and then, the sailing has increased by 30 to 40%. So it's actually still cheaper to book early.
Yes. And like Crissi said, we can always look at repricing, but you have more options the farther out you book. So better to get locked in now, especially with the room choice. I know that's always a popular one too.
All right, so next month we have some news from Carnival. This month, honestly, this is still like a warming up month. Okay, like the big stuff is coming in April, but March does still have some new stuff. So Carnival is a huge corporation. It is not just Carnival Cruise Line. It is a huge corporation of multiple brands, and they are taking 2 of their ships from the P&O Australia cruise brand and it kind of bringing them into the Carnival brand. So this will be the Carnival Adventure and the Carnival Encounter, and this will happen in March. And they will, we don't have the exact itineraries yet, but they will remain in Australia. And the ships will remain the same size, but they will have a full reno to really match the typical Carnival fun ship environment. But don't totally count Carnival out yet, because they do have some new things, cool new things coming in 2025, just later on.
Yes, I was going to say that is what I'm excited about, which I never thought I would say, but some of these commercials I'm seeing, I'm so excited.
All right, so in April, we have 2 really big launches. So I will actually be on both of these ships, which is super exciting. So super stoked about that. But the Norwegian Aqua will be sailing out of Port Canaveral, and I will be sailing on it, not on its launch. I will be sailing on it in June with all of Academy Travel, so it'll be very exciting. And this is going to feature the first hybrid water slide / roller coaster at sea. And it's part of Norwegian's Prima class. It's got really luxury lounge space, a 24-hour restaurant, and it does have the Norwegian Haven on board, which is not exclusive to this class. I realize that sentence structure makes it seem like it's only on Prima class ship, but it is exclusive to Norwegian line. This is like a luxury, like a first class cruising experience, ship within a ship. And then MSC World America is coming, and this is the second of their world class ships. So World Europa is already sailing. This will be the biggest ship that MSC has sailing out of the United States. It's massive, really, really big. 20-something bars on board, like just really, really big. Multiple aqua parks on board, super cool. It's going to sail out of Miami. It's also going to have these really cool over-the-ocean swings. I'm really excited about those. They like hang off the side of the ship. It's called Cliffhanger. It's super cool. You guys also probably saw this ship in the Super Bowl commercial with Orlando Bloom and Drew Barrymore. It's kind of a fusion of European and American cultures into one amazing family experience. So super exciting, and I will be sailing on this one closer to its launch date, just right after the inaugural sailing.
Love that. And someone's asking, are all cruise lines 20% deposit?
No, every cruise line has its own deposit and payment schedule. So reach out to me and we can kind of chat about what you're looking for. Some cruise lines have fully refundable deposits. Some have a lower deposit, but it's not refundable. So really, they all vary, totally vary.
I was going to say, if I'm remembering correctly, there was one where it was like $1 for a deposit or something.
That was Carnival during wave season. They had a $1 room upgrade. So the deposit wasn't $1, but it was a $1 room upgrade, which was pretty cool.
That is so cool. Oh my gosh. It's the little things. It's the little things.
Yeah, totally. And then in June and July, we're seeing 3 new luxury vessels, which the luxury ocean cruise lines, like that really has just taken off in the past couple of years, really. It used to really Viking kind of had that market pretty exclusively. And now we are seeing Silversea and Cunard and Seabourn, and then these new lines. So Explora Journeys launched just 2 years ago. They're a brand new line. And now all the other ships are like, we need new ships because there's a brand new line out there. So the Ritz-Carlton has its second ship coming out. This is Luminara at the top. And then Oceania's Allura, which, guys, this page is like such a tongue twister, okay? So we have the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection Luminara and the Oceania Allura and Viking Vesta, all debuting in June and July. These ships are, smaller than your big ocean liner ships, but they're not miniature by any means. Usually between 200 and 400 total passengers. And they are all suite layouts, huge space per guest, very high staff to guest ratio. And because these are smaller ships, like they're kind of like super mega luxury yachts. It's kind of how I see them. But they do really exclusive itineraries. Some of them are super varied. So that Ritz-Carlton one, like it never does the same itinerary twice. It's just like moving all around, which is really cool. So, and then they also include kind of like off the beaten path ports, which is really neat. So really cool opportunities. If you're looking at the luxury cruise market, that market is not slowing down by any way, shape, or form.
Love that. And someone's asking, are these only for adults or can kids go too? This looks nice.
It varies by brand and by ship. So, reach out to me. We can kind of find one that will work for you and your needs. Most of them that are not adults only are still not necessarily family focused. So while they do like allow children of a minimum age, some being 6, some being 8, some being 16, they're not going to have like babysitting on board or that kind of a thing.
Got it. Okay, that is good to know. And that is a link to Crissi's page on the DCL community site. So definitely send her an email and she can help break down the perfect one for your family. Oh, I'm so excited for this.
I'm so stoked. I know, right? So Carnival is really stepping into the private island game, which I would say about every cruise line has really kind of stepped into it in the past few years. And Disney opened Lookout last year, and Royal has tons of stuff going on, but they were really the first to launch this, like, hey, we're going to have like a mega destination island here. And so Carnival is like not necessarily late to the game. I think they were like watching and seeing what worked, and then also seeing what was missing. I'm going to tell you about that because they do have some things that are exclusive, and I'm stoked. So this is Celebration Key. It is opening in July. And it is exclusive for Carnival guests, and it's going to be, kind of those Bahamas Caribbean sailings. It's incredible, massive pools, tons of separate beach areas. The thing that I'm most excited about is that Carnival's research realized that people like pools at private islands, and people want to be able to relax in said pool at said private island. So they have created this, the picture on the right is called Starfish Lagoon. And then the picture on the left, it's got like, you can see how there's like gigantic pools and there's like smaller pools that are more specialty stuff. But the Starfish Lagoon is actually going to have like floating, like inflatable cabanas in the pool so that you can like have your private cabana space and your shade, but be in the pool. Whereas like we see floating cabanas at Royal and see several cruise lines have floating cabanas, but they're over the ocean, which is also cool. But for us that, don't love salt water on our skin so much and just want to be by the pool, this is like so spectacular. I'm super stoked about like how they really understood that like people want to be in the pool all day. We need to make there to be a variety of experiences in our pools. So I'm super stoked about this. So stoked about Celebration Key. It's cooler than a ship, to be honest.
It looks awesome. I know every time I see a commercial for it, I'm like, I might need to try Carnival. And I know that there are Disney cruisers watching right now who think that that is sacrilegious to say. So what would you say to those people who are like, I can't do Carnival. I'm a Disney cruiser. I have certain expectations or whatever preconceived notions that people might have about Carnival.
So I think you can do any cruise line if you go into it objectively and you book the right ship. So like I said, Carnival Corporation is huge, but Carnival Cruise Line itself is a really big cruise line, and Royal Caribbean is also equally enormous, and their variability within ships and offerings is huge. So if you book one of Carnival's older, smaller ships compared to a Disney ship, you're going to be disappointed. But if you book one of their newer ships with all these incredible amenities on board, you will have actually more included dining options on board, more included lounge spaces on board, more programming on board than a Disney ship. You won't have Mickey Mouse, but you probably won't miss him that much because you'll have so much more to do and to eat and to enjoy. So as long as you are really educated about what you're experiencing, you're going to have a good time. They're literally called the fun ship. It's really hard not to have a fun time.
That is true. Every time I see Shaq on those commercials, I'm like, if Shaq likes it.
Exactly, right? So then in August, this is the debut of Royal Caribbean's Star of the Seas, which is the second in the Icon class. They also just announced today, it was kind of leaked earlier, but like the official announcement came today, the third ship in Icon class will be called Legend of the Seas, but it's not a 2025, it's a 2026 ship. But we just got the name of it today. So Icon, Star, and Legend. But the second Icon ship will tie with Icon, so they will both be the largest ships in the world, having that ultimate family vacation, biggest pools, overhanging pools, adults only section, the whole back of the ship, that's an adults only infinity pool. It's so cool. You really can't not have a good time on an Icon class ship. They're my absolute favorites. The difference between the two of them is that Icon sails out of Miami and Star will sail out of Port Canaveral, but they're both going to be doing 7-night Caribbean itineraries with visits to Perfect Day. Another really cool thing about Star of the Seas is that its inaugural sailing will launch August 31st, and that I am booked on that. But they just announced they're going to be doing 2 public, so like you can book them, preview sailings. Whereas we see most cruise lines are doing these like media previews ahead of sailings, they decided to make those public. There may still be a media one even before those 2, but if you want to sail on a brand new ship for just 4 nights, so cutting the price in half about, you can do that. And there's still spots available. They're going really fast, but reach out. August 23rd and 27th are the 2 dates, the 2 start dates. They're 4 nights. And you'll be the very first to see a brand new ship, and you'll get to go to Perfect Day as well. Pretty cool.
Yeah. And someone's asking, is it the same ship as Icon? So I guess, are there differences?
Yeah, there's some subtle differences in some of the entertainment spaces on board. It'll have different shows, right? So just like how the Disney sister ships have the same layout, but a little bit different venues and different entertainment, same concept throughout Caribbean. So they're the same class of ship. They're sister ships. They'll have the same exact layout, but they'll have different onboard entertainment. We do know, so on Icon, the feature musical is Wizard of Oz, and on Star of the Seas, it's going to be Back to the Future.
Ooh, oh, great movie. That is so exciting. Go Royal, go.
Yeah. And then in September, Virgin Voyages Brilliant Lady launch. This is their 4th lady ship to launch, and this is going to be doing what they're calling the North America World Tour. So
I love
it is
that.
launching in New York, actually. Its first sailing will be in New York. And then it's going to have 4 like maiden voyages at different ports around North America. So it's got a New York launch, it's got a Miami launch, it's got a Panama Canal, and it's going to just literally make its way around North America and back up to Seattle, where it'll do the Alaska season. So I'm really excited. This year in 2025, we have 2 brand new ships joining the Alaska cruise fleet, I guess, or ensemble. I don't know what you want to call it, but really cool to have brand new ships doing Alaska. Typically, you see older ships in Alaska, so super, super cool. This ship is nearly identical to the rest of the Virgin Voyages fleet in that it is adults only. It has very upscale, entertainment and dining options. Their fares also include a lot up front. So you have gratuities already included, specialty dining already included, Wi-Fi already included, just the most inclusive fares for sure. The only modifications that they did have to make the ship slightly narrower in order to fit through the Panama Canal. So the sea terrace, which is what they call their balcony, they're just slightly smaller. Not all of them, just some of them had to kind of squish a little bit. So definitely work with your agent. Virgin calls us first mates. So work with your first mate to make sure you're in the best room category for you. This is also the ship with the hammocks on the balconies. If you're looking for that, if you've seen those pictures, this is the brand to go to.
I have heard those hammocks are so comfortable.
They are my favorite.
I know. I feel like you need one of those hammocks on an Icon ship, and that would be like Crissi's Bliss.
That would be my bliss. It would. Yes.
I know. With the beef tenderloin for Nate.
Yeah, beef tenderloin for Nathan, hammock for me, Icon class ship, sailing somewhere exotic like Asia or like Norway or something, like just you know.
During an F1 race.
During an F1 race, exactly. Yes. Perfect. You know me. And then in October, here's the other brand new ship that's going to be doing Alaska eventually. So Star Princess is launching in October of 2025, which October is after the Alaska season ends. So it's going to launch originally in Barcelona, doing some Mediterranean sailings, and then it will move over to Alaska for the 2026 Alaska season, and then it'll move to Fort Lauderdale for 2026 Winter Caribbean. So super exciting. Some really cool things. This class of ship is like a total rebrand for Princess. It looks nothing like any other Princess ship. Well, it looks just like Sun Princess. That was the first in this class, but these 2 ships, nothing like the rest of the fleet. They have so much onboard entertainment. This exclusive Sanctuary collection, which is again like that first class ship within a ship area with exclusive pool, exclusive dining, exclusive lounges. It also has the largest ever casino, and it has an expanded non-smoking section, which Disney cruisers are like, what are you talking about? Because Disney Cruise Line does not have casinos on their fleet, but every single other cruise line does. So casinos are a big part of cruising across the cruise industry, and this is kind of a general push to expand non-smoking in casinos. So Princess is here for it, and they're doing it.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. You say casino, and I'm like, oh, that's right. Casinos exist on cruise lines. And somebody's asking, what's the best cruise line? That is
So
such a
subjective, but
loaded
hop on my
question.
calendar. Let me ask about you. Where do you love? Like, here's what I ask people. Let's match. Like, let's play cruise matchmaker. So at
Yeah.
home, what is your favorite chain restaurant? Because if you say some random restaurant in your hometown, I don't necessarily know what it is. So tell me what your favorite chain restaurant is. Tell me your favorite place to go shopping, and then tell me your favorite hobbies, whether they're year round or indoor, outdoor, whatever. What are your hobbies? What are things you're interested in doing? You might not do them on vacation, but it'll really tell me kind of your activities, your lifestyle, what you're interested in, and I can match you up, no problem.
Yes. Oh, there's so many cruise ships. There's so many vacations. I mean, even outside of cruising, and there's so many options. Let Chrissy customize a vacation option for you. Again, her planning services are free, so use her,
Yeah.
use her vast knowledge here. She's happy to help.
Yeah, reach out. So in November, thank you for staying tuned to the end of the year. Disney Cruisers, you had to wait all the way to the end. But November, we see the launch of Disney Destiny and Celebrity Excel, which these are both continuations of a previous class. So Destiny will be that Triton class ship, just like the Wish and the Treasure. But it does have its own unique theming with this really cool heroes and villains twist that I'm really excited to see Disney do after sailing on board the Treasure and really seeing how, like I really didn't quite understand how different from the Wish it would feel on board, and how a theme based on, now this is confusing because the theme of Treasure is adventure, so that's kind of weird, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So seeking adventure on the Treasure and how different that feels on board, and all the spaces, how differently they interact compared to the same layout but different theming on the Wish. It's a totally new experience. So I cannot wait to see the heroes and villains. I'm so excited for that Hercules show. There's so much. But what's also really cool is that, I don't know if you guys saw the trend, but generally brand new cruise ships do 7-night sailings that are Eastern and Western Caribbean. That is the trend. And Disney did break the mold with the Wish earlier, but this is so exciting to see a ship, one sailing out of Fort Lauderdale, which Fort Lauderdale is like, I truly think it's the nation's most underrated cruise port. It is so easy to sail out of and so much fun. And you're like, like compared to Port Canaveral, you're just that much closer to the Caribbean. It's great. But sailing out of Fort Lauderdale, and it's doing mostly 5-night sailings, which I am finding are people's favorite. It really gives you time to like take a week off of work and still have your vacation and still have time to travel back and forth. People love 5 nights. So really cool that a brand new ship is doing 5 nights.
That's
Also
such a
in
good
November.
point.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, keep
No,
going.
that's okay. Also in November, Celebrity Excel is launching, also out of Fort Lauderdale. And this is going to be the final ship in Celebrity's Edge class, which is a really cool class of ship that really pioneered a lot of new things within the cruise industry. That orange part on the side, it moves. So they have this movable platform that can be a restaurant, it can be a lounge, and it's a tender dock. It's so cool. I absolutely love Magic Carpet. It's got great innovative dining on board. But the coolest thing about Celebrity Excel, everybody, like whether you plan to book it or not, can be part of the Dream Maker program. Just Google it. Just Google Celebrity Excel Dream Maker, and you can join it, and you can be part of like the finishing touches of this ship. So last week there was a contest to vote on the color scheme for their like Carnival celebration, not to be confused
Ooh.
with Carnival Cruise Line, but like Carnivale, like the Brazilian like festival,
Yeah.
right? So they're going to have that on board. And you could choose whether you wanted a like cool toned color scheme or a warm toned color scheme, and the cool toned color scheme won, and that's great because that's what I voted for. But so each week there's like a new theme to vote on and things you can learn about the ship. So kind of like everybody gets to design these finishing touches for Celebrity Excel. So just Google Dream Maker program. It's really cool. It's not affiliated with any travel agency. It's just straight from Celebrity. You get to learn all about their new ship and help them put the finishing touches on it. So really
That
cool.
is so fun. And a couple of questions. One from Ashley. Is it worth it to go on a maiden voyage of a new ship?
So financially, I don't think so. Like, it's going to be more expensive. Generally, you do get like gifts on board, right? But they're not going to like value, like, it's not going to make up for the difference. A lot of people say like, oh, I hold off because like things may not be ready. And that I think is like totally false. There are plenty of times that things haven't been ready when I've cruised, but not because it's the maiden voyage. Like the things that aren't ready are things like entertainment. That can happen at any time. There can be an entertainment cast turnover at any time. You don't even know what's happening. So there are plenty of things that like, people say like, oh, it's just not worth it because like, I want them to have all the kinks worked out. they've got all the kinks worked out. You are not actually the first voyage when you're the maiden voyage. There's been a like totally secret cast only sailing. There's been like 4 test sailings. Then there's immediate sailing. There are not kinks. One other bonus that I don't think people realize, it's not as a big deal on the Disney ships because generally Disney ships sail like pretty close to capacity all the time and you don't really feel it. They're just really well designed. But if you're looking at a Royal Caribbean like Oasis or Icon class ship, those ships on their like initial launch period, the first sailing, generally the first about 3 to 4 months of sailings are at a reduced capacity. And you really do feel the difference when it's at a 70% capacity compared to a 92. Royal Caribbean typically can sail at over 100% capacity with, you know, the way that rooms are allotted. When there's 4 guests in one room, that counts as more than 100% occupancy, right? So you feel it. It's a big difference. So for me, that makes it worth it. I loved being on Icon Preview with like 60% capacity. That was something special. But maiden voyages, generally, if you're looking at a financial sense, no, totally not worth it. But if it overlaps, if it's a good time of the year for you, if this is a week you wanted to sail anyway, do it. Why not? Yeah. Experience it. Be part of the first time. Why not? It's fun.
Yes. Don't let anybody rain on your parade if that's what works for you. You know, there's plenty of chances. These ships are brand new; they're not going anywhere.
Correct.
And some people are saying, "What about the Wish?" The Wish came out right at like COVID was. We were coming out of that. There was a new normal. That you can't. I wouldn't lump that in the same boat here, if you will. And then Gina is asking, will a Disney Destiny have princesses on it, still with the villains theme?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we have gotten confirmation on that several times from official Disney sources. So they'll still have their regular programming. They'll still have a variety of character meets. Just like on the Treasure, we have kind of bonus characters, right? There's Genie on board that you can meet. There's kind of bonus opportunities to meet Peter Pan as well. And Aladdin and Jasmine together as a couple to welcoming you. But those are just bonus. They don't take away from all the regular character meet and greets all throughout the whole sailing. So you can meet characters at any time on any sailing that are totally random. So it'll have the Fab Five. It'll have all the princesses, all that jazz.
I was gonna say Disney knows that it's gotta cover a lot of bases with the people who are traveling. It's not just for one person. The Wish isn't just about princesses. They've got the Marvel on there too. So they will have you covered. December.
Oh, right. December. So before we get to the other big Disney ship in December, Royal Caribbean is opening the beach club at Nassau, which guys, Royal Caribbean's like taking over the world. Like, I don't know if you guys are aware of like how many like islands they have bought, but they already have Perfect Day Coco Cay, which is in Bahamas as well. And now when you dock at Nassau, there is that strip of land. It's called Paradise Beach. And Royal Caribbean bought it. And they have now made this a private destination for guests on their ships. Typically, it is a Royal Caribbean ship that is docked right next to it because that is one of the biggest berths and they bring the biggest ships. So they're typically there. And it's going to be really neat. Still, again, just CGI photos. It's slated to open in December of 2025. And it's going to be added on like a shore excursion. So it's not like you have to go there. Like you can still get off at Nassau and do other things. But this is just an exclusive beach retreat, like a beach club. So instead of needing to go and buy like a day pass to Margaritaville or to British Colonial, if you just want a nice private beach and pool time, you can do that right through Royal Caribbean. They're experimenting with different ways of getting guests because it is technically an island. Like it's not actually attached to Nassau. So they're experimenting with different ways. When I was on my New Year's sailing, they actually joked that it would be a zip line. That is a joke. It is a joke. There's not going to be a zip line from the ships. But I do think that like it was considered. It was like, could we do this? Is this possible? But right now they're looking at using tender ships and lifeboats from the ship to get guests over there very, very quickly, as opposed to having to disembark and then take a separate ferry. But this is going to have tons of different secluded beach areas. Again, lots of pool areas, really cool cabanas that are like multiple stories with their own little slides. It's going to be sick. I'm excited. And all the other cruise ships that are not Royal Caribbean will still have to see it. Then that's really what's funny about it. Everybody docked at Nassau will see it.
Somebody's asking if I'm on a Disney cruise, could I go here? Could I buy a day pass? No.
It will be exclusive to Royal Caribbean guests. Possible sharing with Celebrity, as they are our sister brands, but I would say unlikely for very long because Celebrity is making plans of their own in the future.
Oh, wow. Good to know. Man, they are really moving. And Erica's asking, are the employees there going to be the cruise line employees like the Disney ones at Castaway?
That I am uncertain of. So when you go to other cruise lines private islands like Coco Key, Perfect Day, Coco Cay, or Carnival Celebration Key, it is totally cruise only employees, and some of them are on the island permanently, and most of them come from the ship. But for this one, since it's going to serve a variety of ships, Royal Caribbean can have 3, sometimes 4 ships docked at Nassau in one day. So most likely will be more permanent crew, but they will be Royal Caribbean crew. They won't be like local, like just anybody showing up. It'll be Royal Caribbean crew for sure. Whether it comes from the ship or not, I'm unclear.
Yes. Still some details, but it looks awesome. And I'm seeing this question, will DCL ever offer adult only sailings? I know we've been seeing that question from the
Yeah,
surveys
exactly. It's in
pop
the
up.
surveys. And like again, the only thing that can happen is like I can't say never, right?
Yeah.
But with the fleet expanding, when we get to 13 ships eventually, I mean, why not? Maybe some short sailings. It's possible. Right now, with the fleet the way it is and with it fully selling out and it being predominantly families, I would say it's highly unlikely. But when we get to a very large fleet, I mean, the fleet's doubling, right? So when we get to that fleet, who knows what some of those ships are going to be doing? Maybe one of them will be adults only. That's just a Crissi idea. That doesn't come from DCL marketing at all. But it's a thought, right? Right now, I would say it's highly unlikely. The only possible chance would be if somebody fully chartered a ship, which if you want to do that, let's talk.
Yes, I was going to say, Chrissy's got you covered if you want to charter a ship. And I know we have some people asking about West Coast cruises too. Same thing, as the fleet continues to grow, the options,
Exactly.
they just add on and add on. So I could just imagine the adults running amok in the Oceaneers Club and Lab, getting to make flubber. How much
Yeah.
fun. Oh,
Mhm. Alrighty. And then, of course, we did save in my opinion, the best for last. So in December, Disney also is launching their first mega ship. And it does appear to be the only mega ship in the fleet, at least for the first 13 ships. So I'm a little bit bummed about that, but like, it's okay. I'll go cry about it later. But Disney's first mega ship is going to be launching sailing 3 and 4 night itineraries in Singapore. Occasional 5-night holiday sailings as well. These will feature so much onboard entertainment. Like there's a lot of panic about how it doesn't have port stops, but there's going to be so much to do on board for you Disney cruisers that are used to the Wish or think that the Wish is big. Oh my goodness. This is like 3 wishes. Okay.
yeah.
There's so much to do on board. Like there's no chance that you're going to be worried about getting off and like exploring somewhere. But totally new room types. And there's so much to do. Singapore is probably one of like my top destinations to visit in the world for just like a city vacation. It's all kinds of activities for families of all ages. Really cool. And very, very tourism friendly, walkable, great public transportation as well. So really cool. We did a whole video all about adventure and about cruising out of Singapore and making a vacation in Singapore. So definitely check that one out. This is the ship I'm most excited about. And I am hoping to be able to see it when it does its preview in Los Angeles. And then I'm also going to be booking it in October of 2026 to combine with Formula One. So I still can't book yet because it's only through September of 2026 right now. But next booking season, I'll have a big group.
You're there. Oh my gosh, I know. I'm so excited for the adventure. And somebody's asking if you can do back to back on the adventure if there's not
Absolutely.
ports.
So yes, you can absolutely do back to back. Since it hasn't sailed yet, we don't know what the procedure will be because that's not actually a Disney Cruise Line policy. That's a policy of Border Patrol and Customs at the port. So whatever the port of Singapore currently for guests sailing on other lines, like Singapore has Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, like several lines in it. Guests doing back to back there are able to stay on board the ship. So it's possible. The only thing that I'm seeing with adventure and back-to-back sailors is that it is really essential that we book you ASAP because the rooms on this ship, it's like 20 or 30 will be booked at a time by one tour group or something like that. So trying to find the same room available on 2 sailings, it shouldn't be that difficult on a ship this size, but like it is sometimes.
That's a really good point.
Being flexible about potentially moving rooms, I know it's not ideal. I know. But they're short sailings, pack totally separate suitcases for each sailing. That's what I would do. And then experience 2 room types, like have a reef view one time and a imagination garden view, or being concierge and then not concierge to kind of cut the cost in half, like all kinds of options, right? So consider that, but reach out to me and let's kind of try to find you. First, see if we can find you the same room available on back-to-back dates. I actually have clients doing back-to-back-to-back on Adventure to make it a
Love
to make it it's a 10-night total sailing. It's wild. So they're really excited.
Awesome.
So
I feel like that's what I would have to do too. Like fly
Mhm.
in, spend a couple days in Singapore, and
Yeah.
then just do all of the cruises,
Mhm.
especially since we're going all the way there.
Yeah.
So that might have to be in my future. And
Mhm.
a bonus slide.
Bonus slide. Yeah, so all my presentations end with a bonus slide. You're welcome. So um, this is actually not just a huge year for ocean lines, because all of those 14 ships that I just listed are just ocean cruise lines. There are actually 19 river cruise ships launching in 2025. Like, that's insane. The river cruise
So
industry is
many.
exploding, but like these ships, like in the river cruise industry, it's pretty normal to sail on a ship that's like 15 to 20 years old. But the thing is that they've all kind of hit that point. So we're seeing a lot of brand new ships. This is the one that I'm most excited about. It just launched. So this is Alma Magdalena, and its sister Alma Melodia is launching in June. And they are both sailing on the Magdalena River in Colombia, which is a brand new kind of river cruising market. So anyway, river cruising is not just Europe. It's in South America. It's in Asia. It's in Africa. Oh, super beautiful Africa river cruises that combine safari. Gorgeous. Anyway, so reach out. River cruise lines are expanding, expedition lines, and also private charters have new ships, and I book all of that. If it floats, I book it. So reach out, because your cruise vacation doesn't have to be on a mainstream ocean line. There's so many other options too.
Yes, that is so true. If you're thinking about destination wedding, you could rent an entire charter
Yeah.
just for your family and
Mhm.
closest friends and go to like Croatia. I mean, you could
Croatia,
go anywhere.
all times. So really cool options also out of Norway. So just there's amazing options out there. On the
Yes. Oh
Caribbean.
my gosh. There is so much to be excited about when it
So
comes to
much.
cruising. There's so many options if you couldn't tell from this. So if you are ready to book, or if you're just like, there are so many ideas, Crissi, I am overwhelmed with my options. What is best for me? Set up a time with
Yeah,
Crissi.
let's chat.
Yeah, get some time on her calendar and talk through what you like, what you don't like, what your kids like. If your kids are even invited on your vacation, maybe you want to leave them at
Maybe
home.
not.
Right? And she can help you customize a vacation specifically for you so that you can just sit back, relax, and enjoy your time off. Crissi, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Oh,
And
thank
if you are ready to book, again, that is the link to Crissi's page on the DCL community site up on screen. I'm going to get this in the comments for everybody as well. But her planning services, one more time, they're free for you to utilize. So let her be that resource. Let her help you. Thank you so much again, Crissi. And we will see all y'all on board real soon. Bye, guys.